Hi, thanks for watching my video. So I decided to make like an emo style sim, you know, like the 2009 kind of emo era. I think the actual emo era was like, what, 2005 until 2010, something like that. Anyway, yeah, I don't really know why I decided to do this. It's kind of a bit of a random decision, but yeah, I just, for some reason, I think it's because I've been talking to my friends a lot recently, and they're the same friends that I've had since we were at school, and just kind of got me thinking about, you know, nostalgic times, and yeah, that kind of inspired me to make an emo kind of sim. I wasn't an emo myself, though. Some of my friends were. Some of my friends were like proper emo kids, but I wasn't. I didn't really follow any kind of trends, you know. I kind of sound like I'm trying to make myself seem like above it all, like, oh, I didn't follow trends, but I genuinely didn't. In fact, around that time, I was pretty much dressing the same as how I dress now. The only difference is I wear more rainbow print now than I did at the time, but yeah, I wasn't really into trends or fashionable things, which, you know, is probably why my friends got a lot more attention than I did, because I didn't really, I just couldn't be arsed with any of that when I was like a teenager. But you know what's funny is I've said before, I watch a lot of South Park, okay? I've got a lot of free time. Quarantine or no quarantine, either way, I still had more free time than the average person. So I recently rewatched every single episode from season 1 up until where we are today. I can't even remember what season we're on, like 25 or something. Anyway, when you watch it, there are like constant references of, like, I think it's the goth kids, or there's like an episode that's like the goth kids against the emo kids, and they have this same mentality that's like, no one understands me, I'm so individual, and it made me laugh so much because I hadn't seen that episode for ages, and it really resonated with me because I remember like 2009 kind of time was around my era. That was when I was a teenager. So it's pretty funny because I do remember, because a lot of my friends were, you know, emos or scene kids, and they really were just like that. They really were like, no one understands us, we're so individual. So yeah, the stereotype is true, but I'm just gonna see that now that we're years in the future is where I get to gloat to my friends, because out of all of them I actually didn't fit in, and nowadays that's cool. So, you know, flex much. I'm trying to think of all the things that were supposedly quite cool for emos back in the day, and this is definitely generalising, and this by no means represents all emos, okay? Just the ones I knew. Just trying to think about what was fashionable. Obviously Jack Skellington was fashionable, and having like non-matchy clips in your hair, like polka dot clips or Hello Kitty hair clips. It wasn't like, not like goths, not all black, still like bright colours and stuff. It was just done in a really individual and unique way, you know. Dark hair, usually a selfie taken from up high, with a serious face and with your index finger placed above your, like, in front of your lips, for some reason. What else was there? Oh, talking with a lisp, for some reason. I don't know whether this was all emos or whether this was a global thing, but in my area anyway of England, emos, they like to talk with a lisp, even though they didn't have one. I remember my friends putting on a lisp because that was, you know, the emo thing to do. What else? Obviously the over-the-top, thick black eyeliner, and like an obsession with Hayley from Paramore's hair. That was pretty big. Bows. Having bows in your hair. That was another one. Vest tops, obviously, skinny jeans, but they were referred to as drain pipes, and also wearing a belt that was like maybe more, it was more common for it to be a studded belt, or you could maybe have like a piano belt, just a belt with something emo-ish on it, you know, like skull and crossbones or something. But here's the trick. The belt isn't meant to actually be a belt, so you're not supposed to wear it as a belt. So you put your drain pipes on, and then you wear your vest top over the top, and then you put the belt over the top of your vest top. So it's just kind of hugging your hips rather than serving any purpose as a belt. Remember that, yeah. Converse or Vans were to be worn, and also it was quite like common or cool to have a lip piercing. Was it a lip piercing? Yeah, I think it was to have like a stud or a hoop in the corner of your mouth, of your bottom lip. Got to be the bottom lip. It was also pretty common, I didn't have the option to do this because I didn't download any CC that allowed me to do it, but emos had like the long hair and the massive swept side fringe, and a few emos would like dye the underneath blonde and then like a bright colour, so that you had the top of the barnet all dark, and then underneath the fringe there was like a hot pink or hot blue, or you know, something that really defined their individuality and made them incredibly unique. That's what they all had. I sound like I'm roasting them, but I'm really not. I mean, I wasn't an emo myself, but they were my crowd, and I appreciate them, because back in those days it wasn't like, it was almost like a competition between two different styles. You were either an emo, or in England you were a chav, and you know, definitely didn't want to be in the chav team. So you know, I was team emo, even though I didn't dress the way they did. Very much team emo. But the funny thing is, I was like in the emo crowd and my brother was in the chav crowd, and I remember my mum went to LA for a week, so we had the house to ourselves, and we both had the same idea to throw a house party. So we ended up with the house party full, like 50% full of emos and 50% full of chavs. It was carnage. We thought we were going to have a war on our hands, but in the end there was enough vodka for everyone and it went great. Anyway, we're getting towards the end of the video now, so I should probably start, you know, summing this up and just saying thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you used to be an emo. If you're from England, let me know if you used to be a chav. If you're not from England, let me know what the equivalent of a chav was in your respective countries. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Have a good day. Bye bye.